folks, it is the Nutty Knife Guy, making sure that the batteries are good. As promised, I will be going out to the war post. I am fully recovered, I think, or pretty close to it from my malady. One thing I want to show really to the winner of the contest. I'm a little bit delayed in getting that out due to some transportation issues, but I have arranged for the post office to come and get the package, so we'll get off to you, but I haven't sent it yet. Technical difficulties. Having said that, and getting that out of the way, I am going to bring to you, finally, the Jed Hornbeak made, Nutty Knife Guy Rachelinsky designed Selkirk EDC fighting knife. It is a Selkirk because it is named after the protagonist's family in my novel Blessed Warriors, well, the series of novels Blessed Warriors. This one is actually described more or less in 7th, book 1 of that series. It is 5160 steel. I believe it's a tad over 12 inches long. Jed and I made some let's see here, some design changes when we talked about the design on the phone. Because I can draw anything, Jed has to make it. Well, I take it back. It's a tad over 10 inches long, which is pretty close to my original specs. 5160 steel. Recurve. I opted for a saber grind on the blade. It's more of a diamond cross section. The thickest part of the blade is through the center of the blade, not the spine. I think that it makes an overall stronger knife, and it's better for thrusting. Of course, that's going to make batoning with this pretty much impossible because this would chew up your baton. But I didn't make it to be used with that type of thing. Now, when I take it out to the war post and do a little carving, I'm going to see how it feather sticks. It should do well with those. But that's the EDC part of it. I could use this for some utility tasks if I wanted to. That's not what I use it for. This has been at my side pretty much since I got it. This in case the worst happens and Lizardmen Zombie Ninja attack or their other evil allies. This is a personal protection thing. It's self-defense, even though I wish I could come up with a better term for that. But that's what I said in my last video. I wanted the profile very thin since I was going to be carrying it a lot. Brass fixtures, largely because I like the look of the contrast of the dark handle, which is G10, a very nice deep G10, and the brass on there. The brass does take a little bit more care and adds weight, but I just like the way it looked. It is a sub-hilt. A lot of people don't like sub-hilts. Jed did a video about this knife before he sent it to me, which I hopefully will remember to link in my in the description of this video. Now, this video isn't really going to be a review. I have no doubt that this thing is going to go through whatever I do to it, like a hot knife through butter. This is, in this instance, just as something that's really cool that I wanted to show you guys. I've got the sheath on my belt, which I'm not going to show you, but I don't know if you can hear this reassuring Kydex click. Love that. That's one of my favorite sounds in the world. Jed said on his video about the knife that that's the best fit he ever got with a Kydex sheath, is which this knife. I believe it. When I first got it, it was so tight that it was actually kind of hard to get it out of the sheath. That's broken a little bit now. You know, it's, of course, you know, the design is mine, so, you know, of course I'm going to like it, but the way Jed executed it, we talked on the phone and we had emails about certain things that I wanted and how he wanted to do things, and made a few changes, but not many. When I was kind of planning this out in my head, I wanted it a little handle heavy, because that makes the tip more nimble, in my humble opinion. Of course, I wanted jumping on the thumb ramp. He expanded that a little bit and moved it forward for my design, and he was absolutely right. The balance on this thing is amazing. Perfectly executed recurve on the blade. It's full tang. I love full tang. I think like all knives should be full tang if at all possible. Well, no, let's not go that far, but I really like full tangs. I can't say enough about Jed Hornbeak's craftsmanship. The fit and finish in this thing is absolutely flawless. No gaps, no burrs, no little nicks. I got a heck of a deal on this. I don't know how he managed to make a profit on this. I paid $200 for this, and quite frankly, being able to get something like this for that kind of money makes me very reluctant to go after a Tops or a Benchmade or something like that. Somebody might be interrupting me here. Maybe not. Right. I don't care where you get it. A production knife. Like I said, Tops, Benchmade, whatever. You are not going to get craftsmanship in a factory produced knife. Not like this. It is just friggin' amazing. I don't know what else to say about it other than I just love this thing. Now, my design, as I said, was a fighting knife that I could carry every day. It is legal for me to carry this in my state. But I'm not a lawyer, so check things out for yourself. I'm a fan of sub-hilts, and the thing about it is, not all sub-hilts are created equal. I drew this as much as possible, and I believe Jed and I discussed it, that the sub-hilt needed to be contoured. And a lot of the other sub-hilts I have, and I think I have like 10, maybe 11 other sub-hilt knives, the edges on here are very acute. They're sharp, and they can actually hurt your hand. Jed understood that somebody would actually be using this knife and holding it in their hand, and these things are contoured to the point where this thing is contoured to a point where you pretty much don't feel it. And I designed it to be not too long or short, so you can, if you need to, switch grips. I'm not a big fan of grip switches in fights, but some people might want to do that, and I do just kind of sit here and play with it and do the twirl and the flip just to build confidence in handling a blade. So that's it. You know, that's right. This is just a real piece of artwork, and we're going to go out here in a little bit and put it through some tests. But like I said, this is not as much as a review. It's just something. This is something really cool that I needed to show you guys. You know, most of you who watch this channel or Donnie B All Day's channel, Jed just had kind of a really bad personal tragedy. So I don't know what his schedule is for making new knives, but he did ask my permission to make more knives of this design and sell them to people, because after he put his video on this out, a few people called him and wanted this knife, wanted this design, and I told him that was fine. So if you want one, I'll put his link to that video, and he'll have contact information. He's on Facebook, just Jed Hornbeak, and he can fix you up with one of these. I was reluctant to let him do that because I wanted something to be one of a kind, but then I realized this is a handmade knife. He makes these one at a time, and he makes them himself. So just because of that, there's going to be differences in how he makes it. So every one of these will be slightly different, so mine will still be one of a kind. So anyway, like I said, recurve for better cutting, diamond cross section more or less, thickest part through the blade for a nice strong blade, and a good angle for thrusting. Nice jimped thumb ramp for people who like the saber grip. I tend to switch from the saber grip to the handshake grip. This will not fail you. I'm going to say this before the testing, and because I have every confidence in this knife. I have every confidence in Jed Hornbeak. And with that, it's time to go out to the war post after I change my hat. Just a milk jug, but I've got it covered in 2 or 3 layers of fleece. She's a fighting knife, so she should be able to defeat clothing and still make a decent cut into the bottle. So let's find out. Yeah, we got a decent cut. We'll try again. There it is. Okay. You have to follow through an edge alignment, right, and it works better. Let's make sure you're in frame here. Okay. Now let's try a little common cut. Okay. Almost all the water is out of it now, but we'll try another angle. Yeah, that collapsed a little bit. Instead of cutting with no water in it, maybe get a little lower. Yeah, without the water in it, there's nothing really to hold it. Take the cut. But put this away real quick so that I do not cut myself. You can see these cuts were through fabric, and a couple of them when the bottle was light and not really backed by anything. Now let's see how she stacks up against the post. Move you back a little bit, I think. Don't want to knock over my camera. There we go. Whoa, there's a test for you. This is fun. This is just fun to have in your hand. Okay. Some really good hard wax. I wish you could see how far this is going into this wood. I'm going to see if I can shave off a corner here for you. Helps if I hit it. Boy, I'm really getting screwed up on that angle. Look at that. When I get it right. You can tell I haven't been out here in a while. Okay. Boy, that recurve just makes for a great bite. Boy, am I missing today. Rusty, rusty, rusty. There you go again. This thin profile, it doesn't really want to stick in on its own. But even when I messed up and hit it on that pole, nothing was done to this blade. Nothing was done to this blade. I'm kind of actually happy that it happened. Even though it showed you what kind of a klutz I am. But like I said, I haven't been out here in a while. Because I come out here to practice even when I'm not filming. And this is the first time I've been out here since my little ambulance ride. We'll go downstairs and wrap things up. Oh, no, we can't do that yet. I got to find something to make a vampire deterrent with. You're going to have to come with me. Okay, I'll have to go back here. I thought I saw some appropriate material over here. Yeah, this looks like it'll do. We'll just cut this little boy off here. See if we can do this in one whack. Maybe two. Yeah. It's not the knife. Just a really green twig here. Boy, I got to get back out here and practice more. Okay. We'll see if it does a little bushcrafty stuff. Okay, let's see if we take off these limbs. Yeah, this is just green and springy. Okay, let's see how if she can make some curls here. Oh, look at this. Just look. That recurve is great. Of course, they're falling off because I'm not real good at this. But you can definitely get the job done. This is green wood and it is wet. Okay, let's see about a vampire deterrent. Jed set this thing sharp and it's holding its edge. There's a nice little vampire deterrent for you. That was supposed to go in the ground. Boy, oh, I suck. There we go. Got to give this a cleaning when I get in here. Now we're going to go down to the basement. We're going to go downstairs. Okay. Aside from my incompetence, I think I showed you how great this knife is. I smashed it up against that pole on accident. By accident. And look at this. Nothing. And a little dirt there. That I'm going to have to clean. And somehow or another I lost a bunch of light. But anyway. Look at that. And I did hit some gun scrubber with it. Hit it with some gun scrubber and put some light oil on it before I started filming again. You saw, I mean, as I said, I was rusty, and if there's going to learn anything out from that, is that all human skills are perishable. Been almost 2 months since I did that kind of thing, and it showed. But edge retention was great. I was smashing up against pressure treated wood. It went through fabric, it went through plastic, and was still getting nice curls off of that really green wood. So I don't see how you can complain about that. Jed's the man, Jed Hornbeak. And now this is the sheath, and he sent me, included in the price of the knife, he sent me a tech lock with this. And as usual, I don't like the screws, I like the zip ties to put it on. But this is the sheath, and it is every bit as piece of craftsmanship as the knife is. Very nicely done. And here comes, and it's got some dirt in there I'm going to have to get out. But here comes that, okay, am I putting it in here right? Looking like an idiot. Yeah, I'm going to have to wash this sheath out because it's got some crap in it from when I nosedived the knife into the ground like an idiot because I was clumsy and I suck. But the knife does not suck. The knife is great. I wish I ordered 2 or 3. Everyone out there should be lamenting and crying over the fact that they don't have one. So fantastic. Nothing bad to say about it. I am going to have to put this under the sink. He does have a drainage hole, so I can put this in the sink and wash all that grime out of it and let it dry before I put the knife back in there. But that was my stupid fault. I fumbled with the knife and it went into the ground. That's in the knife thing. That's in the knife manual for everybody. Under never ever do that. But the knife itself, man, I waited a long time for it. When I had the money, every time I thought I had the money to pay Jed for this, something happened, and I had to use the money for something else. But it finally came together, And oh boy, the Selkirk EDC fighter, designed by the Nutty Knife Guy, but more importantly made by the great Jed Hornbeak. And with that, I ask you to draw your knives only in just purpose, sheathe them only with honor, and to remember that without knives, life would be dull and pointless. Please like, share, and subscribe. If I remember to do it again, you can find me on Facebook. I'm going to put a link to Jed's video about this knife in the description. Go check him out. If you're up in mind, send him some business. I am sure he has a waiting list, but it's well worth the time to wait. I can't say enough about his workmanship. And with that, I bid you goodbye.